Okay, we're about to start in three, two, one. Here we go. Welcome me back, y'all. Welcome me back. Let's get the game audio going. Um, how y'all feeling? I felt like today I needed to do something a little bit different. I'm 2x KO'd all the way out. I feel like I've been playing way too much 2x KO. Excuse me, I'm just gonna close this drawer here. Try not to slam it so you don't hear it in the background. So I'm 2x KO'd all the way out. I'm looking to do something a little bit different today. I'm thinking I'm going to try to catch a smooth vibe. I said this yesterday. It didn't quite work out in my favor, okay? I was sweaty. I was going at it. I had a little bit more wins and losses, but right now I'm just trying to just smooth it all the way out. All right? I need to relax. The week has started. It's Monday. I had a long day at work, y'all. So I need to chill. All right? And I'm assuming y'all need to chill as well. Just want to make sure everything's straight on all fronts. Want to check things out here. Game audio might cut out. Pardon me. Let's see what it's showing right now. Oh, hilarious. Okay, let's cut out studio mode and let's see if we can actually show some game audio on my face. Here we go. All right, I got to figure out studio mode. At some point, we're going to figure this whole thing out. Let's go back to our game audio. How are y'all feeling though? For those of you in the chat, what's going on? What's up? For those of you on the VOD, please do leave some comments, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're at, Twitch, YouTube. We welcome you all. Everyone is welcome. This is the stream. This is the place to be. This is Be the Ghost. You know, I've been doing it for many years. Call me an animal. Anyway, I don't know the rest of the rap there. So let's, without further ado, let's jump into things. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? All right, let's go. Let's go for this here. All right, so I see the game audio is going. Just gonna check a couple other things before I get things started here. The game audio is gonna cut out again. I'm sorry, y'all. This game specifically, if I click out the window, it does its own thing. All right, so I can't really help it. So you get to hear, you know, the background voice or the vocals. You get to hear the things going on in the back of the house here. But let's check it out. Actually, technically, I'm in the front of the house. But let's see here. So just want to make sure everyone is good on the Twitter side. That's not Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I am on Twitter, but not today. We're gonna check the YouTube side. So it looks like YouTube's all good. I'm just gonna check my Twitch friends as well, just to make sure everyone's good on that side as well. Usually when YouTube's good, Twitch is good. But you never know. One never knows. You just gotta check it all, right? Just double check, make sure everything's straight. And I'm just checking here. Okay, looks like I'm seeing some vitals. I'm seeing a picture here. It looks fantastic, y'all. All right, without further ado, I can't really stay up that late. Let's jump into it. So for those of you that don't know, so I am on Fightcade, all right? Little secret, hush hush, don't tell Capcom I'm on Fightcade. However, I'm not on Fightcade right now. So right now, this is Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. You probably see the interface. So no funny business, excuse me. So we're about to jump right into it. I have no idea what's going on here. Why does it even look like this? Okay, I'm in the game. All right, that's totally fair. I actually don't know how to start it up. Okay, so this looks a little funnier than normal. Looks a little smoother. Can I check something real quick, y'all? I just want to just make sure like I don't have any like funny stuff on here. So right now it's an original screen. That's why it's grayed out. Full wide TV. Oh, I got an arcade filter on, but okay, so I think the TV is the one I'm used to. So maybe I'll just play arcade. I don't know. I feel like the TV one looks a little bit more regular. All right, I was thinking I was gonna play Balrog, but I'm thinking maybe Balrog or Guile. Let's start out with Balrog. He might be the man on the cover of the YouTube thumbnail, so we'll start off with Balrog. We'll see if maybe we migrate to Guile a little bit later on. We're using the charge type archetype today. So I'm a little bit of a You know, to cheese people a little bit. So I might mash on a fierce. Ooh, he got me there. I'm not really a fan of DJ. Like I always feel like he's a little bit cheesy, you know? Oh no. I actually didn't know that I could stuff that. I tried to do super to retaliate to his super, just so happened to work out. Pardon me, y'all. Just gonna check something here. All right, we're back. Oh my goodness, he hit me while I was not paying attention. If I lose a round, y'all know why. He cheated. So one thing I should point out, I am playing Super Turbo on the 30th anniversary. All right, so fully paid for, as I mentioned. However, this game is notorious for being really hard because for some reason they did not adjust the difficulty. So even though I have it on 4 stars, it's actually 8 stars. And generally speaking, it takes me a long time to get past this first match. And then I usually give up by the second or the third match. Because it, you know, by that time I'm like an hour in trying to like beat an 8-star CPU. But you know, as advertised, we're playing Super Turbo today. We are trying to catch a vibe right now, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not gonna give up on it. Well, I will give up on it as soon as like I'm tired. Jeez. Hey y'all, I didn't tell you I was good at this game. So actually, this begs a good question, right? Was this game good? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button here. I don't know. I should know, right? I should be like, yo, I played it back in the arcade when it first came out. We were excited. Well, here's the thing. I remember vividly playing a lot of Super Nintendo, SNES, right? So when Street Fighter II World Warrior first came out, it was impactful, okay? It changed our lives. Especially playing it on the SNES. It was the first time we were able to get like really good console quality arcade gaming at home. And so for me, you know, that game was a game changer. What ended up happening was, I remember I was talking to my aunt. She went to the US, and by this time Super Street Fighter 2 came out. Not Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2. And you know, she ended up saying, hey, you know, Ghost, she didn't call me Ghost, she called me by my real name, but she said, Ghost, tell me what game do you want? I'm out here, I know you like games, what's good? This is, again, when Super Turbo first came out. It might be like a month in here. And she was in Virginia, and I was somewhere in Toronto. And I said, yeah, Super Turbo came out. I didn't say Super Turbo, I think I said Super Street Fighter 2. I said the whole thing, right? So I said Super Street Fighter 2. I'm saying Super Turbo, but you guys know what I mean. And she said, all right, bet, I got you. Anything else? And I said Final Fight 2. At the time, I think Final Fight 2 was a new release as well. So she did her thing, man. She went, she picked up 2 games and came back and presented me with the boxes. And I look at the Final Fight 2 box, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go crazy on this game. I was, you know, super stoked about it, right? And then I look at the other box. I'm like, what is this? I said, Auntie, this is not Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2. This is Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And for those of you that don't know, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, it was a completely different game. It was almost like Championship Edition, but with like, you know, the speed, like a higher speed. So I think in the arcade, it was a different name. I want to say Street Fighter 2 Hyper. It wasn't Hyper Fighting. It's called something else in the arcade. Anyway, so I was stuck with Street Fighter 2 Turbo, unfortunately. And I got really good at it. I know it doesn't show right now. Doesn't show right now, but I got really good at Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Anyway, that game I thought was amazing. All right, it was you know, your World Warrior 8 plus your bosses, right? The 4 bosses from Shadaloo. And fantastic game, right? I would never talk bad about that game. And one day I decided, you know what, I'm gonna rent, you know, despite my aunt kind of like making a little bit of a mistake. I still love her for it though. Despite the mistake, I rented, oh goodness, I'm gonna die here, guys. I rented Super Street Fighter 2. Okay? It was called Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers. I rented it. And I didn't quite like it. I found it to be slow, a little bit clunky. The graphics weren't as good as I remembered, right? Seeing in the arcade. And just like I was kind of over it at that time. I was Street Fighter 2'd out. I was waiting for Street Fighter 3. Right? And by this time we had so many iterations of Street Fighter 2. We were all sick of it. And for you old school heads that lived in the same time I lived, you know, you're maybe you know, young men in the 90s, don't lie, okay? Don't go into my comments and tell people, oh, nah, he's wrong. Everyone loves Super Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting and Street Fighter 2. Nah. We were waiting for Street Fighter 3. We wanted it, okay? So it was only, and I remember going downtown. This is downtown Toronto, right? I remember going downtown Toronto and seeing the Sweats playing Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. All right, only the Sweats played it, and they were going crazy. This is downtown on at Yonge and Dundas. There was an arcade there, right off Yonge Street. For those of you that remember, please let me know. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat, wherever you're at. And so, you know, you'd go there, you put your quarter down, your 50 cents, I think it was at the time, and you try something, right? But because the Sweats were there, it was virtually impossible to win a match. Virtually impossible. Because these people, they're all guys actually. These guys, you know, they were playing Street Fighter 2 since Street Fighter 2, right? So they were going in, and so they had everything figured out. They knew where to stand and how to maneuver their bodies. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'll never forget it. But anyway, was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the game I'm playing right now, and I'm losing it constantly. I told you, it's gonna take me 20 minutes to be the first guy. Was it a good game? So I think from a technical standpoint, it was amazing. Oh my goodness. However, from a just overall, like, you know, casual enjoyment, I could not say it was the game that was the go-to. Now, mind you, the arcades were getting a little bit more sophisticated, right? Mortal Kombat was out. I wasn't a big Mortal Kombat fan. I make that known on this channel. I'm not really huge into Mortal Kombat. However, that's a lie. There was a time when I was into Mortal Kombat. So I remember Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was my game, okay? No one could touch me. It was all about the combos, it was the runs, it was, you know, I had it all. Jeez, this guy is going crazy on me. Yeah, so there was competition. There was a lot going on at that time. I want to say Tekken might have been like at least one game in by the time Super Turbo's out. Feel like it. I want to say, I think like Virtua Fighter is out as well, right? We got him. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's options. There's things that we can do. There's games that we can play. It's not just about Street Fighter 2 anymore. I had fun playing Street Fighter 2. But by the time Turbo came out, I'm telling you from a casual perspective, right? For the Sweats, they might have a different story, but from a casual's perspective, me and my friends were over it, okay? We were all over it. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, man. Was it a good game? Y'all tell me. All right, tell me in chat, what do you think? Am I talking crap? Am I just out to lunch? Do I have non-rose colored glasses on, or like what's happening right now? Surely I'm not lying. From a kid in the 90s, a young man in the 90s. I'm telling you something. And at some point, I think I do want to, you know, maybe do some scripted content, right? And talk with the radio voice and have the script going so that, you know, it's not just me here rambling late at night just before I'm going to bed. Yeah, we'll figure something out. This channel is going to go places, y'all. You know, I want it to be a place for the casual folk to come in and just kind of relax. We're going to have different takes than the regular folks that you see on FGC content. You know, my takes are going to be a little bit more raw, a little bit more authentic. I'm not on the payroll. Not yet, at least. Right? So I can keep it real with you guys. Guys and gals. Right? I got some lovely females on the channel that patronize here, subscribe. So I want to recognize everybody. But yeah, this is going to be a different perspective. It's going to be something new, something exciting, something fresh. I know sometimes, you know, we might see, I'm going to name drop people, I don't care. We see people like Justin Wong, right? Justin Wong might say, oh man, this game's super easy. Or Street Fighter 6, this character X is super easy. That has not been my experience, Justin. I think you might be talking from a different perspective. You know, not all of us can win Evo in multiple games at once. So, you know, if you're looking for someone to relate to, if you're looking for someone with a different perspective, someone that might know a little bit just based on the past and the things that, you know, one has lived through, this will be the channel for that. This has been the channel for that. I know I've been playing a lot of 2XKO, and that's like a new school game, but you know, I'm tapped in with the old school as well. I come from that era, right? We played Killer Instinct. We played Killer Instinct Gold. You know, we played Virtual Fighter. We played Tekken. We played it all. Man, I just came on here to lose, didn't I? I promise you, I'm better at this game, you know, if I was playing Fightcade. Not that I've ever played Fightcade, but, you know, if I did play Fightcade, and I'd be able to access different people and different things, it would be going a whole different way. Remember, back in the day, you know, they had it so that these things were being like read, right? All the inputs were being read. So they know what you're doing before you do it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so, you know, playing in the arcade was definitely a pastime. And maybe for those of you that may or may not know, so my home arcade was Albion Mall. And it was in the basement. I think it was called, like, Bricks and Billiards or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of the arcade, all right? But it was an Albion Mall in the basement. It was huge. We had everything. Everything. That's where I first played Tekken. I don't remember if we had Alpha. We might have had Alpha. We did not have Street Fighter 3 though. I think by the time Street Fighter 3 came out, everyone was over Street Fighter. In fact, I remember a lot of, like, this might be another video. A lot of people didn't like Street Fighter 3, all right? In my neighborhood, like where I grew up, a lot of people did not like Street Fighter 3. It wasn't as much as a hit. You know, there's all new characters. We didn't know who these people were. A lot of them were weirdos, according to us. Right? Now we look back with it, like, on it fondly. And I kid you not. So I grew up in Toronto, right? In a little area subdivision called Rexdale. And I kid you not, I didn't know this until much later in life. And maybe I'm embarrassed to even admit this. The guy that does, let's get it on now, choose and pick your best one. That guy on Street Fighter 3, he was from Rexdale. I had no idea. Well, I knew who he was prior to Street Fighter 3 Infinite. I knew who he was. I listened to his music, right? I listened to his music, and I didn't know that he was the voice of Street Fighter 3. And apparently he did all the voices, right? He did the KO. He did the, he did the round announcements, just like this guy right here. I had no idea. And I felt very embarrassed after the fact. I probably would have taken more pride, and I would have spoke up against those people that were against Street Fighter 3 at the, back in the day. I would have been like, nah, we got a Toronto guy that's on the soundtrack. How dare you? Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm just giving you some trivia. Hey, y'all, I should have won that match. Nah, I'm capping. Oh, man. I don't remember this being this hard. I did pass this recently. Like, I feel like I've done a whole, arcade run. Clearly, I'm getting stuck on the second person here. It's been quite the ordeal. It looks funny to me. This doesn't look right. This almost looks like the Super Nintendo version, right? With the smaller sprites. It looks terrible. Sorry to say, Capcom, what'd you do? You ruined her. Oh, you know what? While we're at it, I should probably say maybe like what my favorite iteration of Street Fighter 2 is, right? So, based on my little soliloquy here, you might think that it is actually Street Fighter 2 Turbo from Super Nintendo. Not the case. Not the case. I think the one that I look back on the most fondly, and everyone can attest to this, anyone that was in the arcade, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Here's why. Alright, so it wasn't as sophisticated as Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or even Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It wasn't. It was slower. However, you had the 8 characters, right? The World Warriors. You had the 4 bosses, and you were allowed to pick mirror matches. That was something that we didn't have before, okay? This was a new technology altogether. We were like, whoa, I can pick the same character? There's a blue version of Blanca. It's all very impressive. I hate that he breaks out of the throw like that. That's so cheap. Yeah, so we liked the fact that we had the mirror matches. I liked the fact that we had the mirror matches. I also liked what else did I like about it? Yeah, getting the bosses, right? You get to pick Balrog and Vega and Sagat, Bison. It was incredible. Never seen before, right? Because at that time we're thinking, okay, these bosses are untouchable. None of us can touch them. We can't even like sniff them. But there they were. We were able to pick them, right? So, I remember just being in awe about that. So that would be the one that I think I look on the most fondly. Now, if you were to ask me present day what's my favorite iteration of Street Fighter 2, it's probably Super Turbo. Don't shoot me. I've grown up. I've become an adult. I'm watching, I'm seeing things. I'm getting a chance to go back and watch old Evo footage. John Choi, right? Alex Valle, Daigo Umahara. When he was a baby, right? He was, he had the little tiny like t-shirt thing. So I had a chance to really like reflect and look back, and I do think Super Turbo is probably the best iteration of Street. Even outside the one that came up for Nintendo, the Ultra Street Fighter 2, new challengers, right? Oh my goodness, I'm getting washed. Didn't even bother mashing. It's awful. So yeah, even though despite back then I was saying I wasn't a fan, present day I am a fan. I think this is a great game. It's a fantastic game. It's better to play against other people. Like, you know, playing against 8-star CPU, reading my inputs, not as fun. I gotta keep it real with you. I thought this would be a little bit more interesting, more intense. But anyway, here we are, right? Oh, you know what I didn't do? My YouTube friends, I actually didn't change this properly. Okay, hold on, pardon me, y'all. I gotta get my act together here. My YouTube friends, I apologize. You're probably thinking I'm playing 2XKO tonight. I'm not. I'm about to change that, don't worry. What are we playing? We're playing Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, otherwise known as Super Street Fighter 2 X, excuse me, in Japan. All right, so what am I gonna say here? Let's say playing SSF. Man, I am getting confused, tongue-tied even. Turbo on anniversary, on the anniversary on the. You guys get to see how the pudding's made here. Anniversary collection. Oh man, is this gonna let the typos rock? Come on, don't let me put any typos in here. Oh, it won't. Okay. I snuck a typo in there just in case. Not to say that I'm like the best at typing, but I know a little bit. Oh, look at that. The thumbnail's even wrong. Let's change the thumbnail, buddy. I don't even know where is my thumbnail. Here we go. These thumbnails are awful. Oh man, y'all ever see Handyman? Y'all ever watch In Living Color? Put it in the chat if you had. But anyway, what was that? What was I gonna do? We've done all that. We're a couple minutes in here. Let's just see how much time I've spent streaming. All right, we got 28 minutes in. I think I might just cut it short, y'all. Like it's been a great stream. Y'all have been fantastic. It's been amazing. You know, we're still at it. I thought I wasn't going to be streaming today, to be honest with you. I had a long day. I was tired, exhausted even, but you know, we decided just let's try anyway. Let's try to figure it out. Let's pull it out. And here we are, right? We're streaming. Um, yeah, I think the last time we were all together, you know, I wanted to do some sort of like a heart to heart and have a discussion with y'all, telling y'all, you know what, if you're going through tough times, you too can make it through those tough times. Not to say that I've made it through any tough times, not at all, right? I'm still going through my own quiet storm, right? But you know, I'm taking some solace in some gameplay, chilling out, relaxing, spending time alone, you know, especially in a day where you're kind of running around doing things. Self care, right? It all kind of matters. So, my message to y'all: chill out. You know, do what you love. Do the thing that gives you that fire inside, right? And then that way, you know, you'll have enough energy to tackle the next day, right? And then tackle that grind. Uh, that's all I got for y'all, to be honest. So I think we'll cut the stream here. I did a lot of losing today, but you know, it was more of a conversation than anything else. And just wanted to give you a little bit of my perspective on, you know, how things were back in the day, especially when we look back on things with colored glasses. We're only getting one perspective from, you know, certain people. You know, I'm anti-industry. That's fine. I'm willing to say certain things that are not popular, but they're true, right? As long as I'm saying something I think that's true and I'm not being fake about it, I think it's all good. Anyway, with that said, I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Maybe I'm going to go back to 2XKO because I'm tired of losing. I got to start winning again. I might even go to Street Fighter 6. I got to play Jamie for y'all because I think the last time I was playing, I was trying to, you know, rise up in the ranks. But anyway, let's see what happens, right? Like I said, we're gonna keep trying for it every single day from here until September 30th. We're gonna go at it, y'all. All right. With that said, I keep on putting up the wrong hand. With that said, peace. I might see y'all tomorrow.